Whew. All right, hey guys. All right, hey, let's just make
It's
sure.
kind of like delayed. Though.
Yeah, there is. Don't watch it.
Okay.
Excellent connection.
Are we streaming?
Yep. Oh. Okay, hello. Sorry we're a little late here. Welcome to the Direct Motocross After Hours here at the TransCan 2021, presented by FXR Moto. There's Brett Lee over there. I'm Billy Rainford. We got Greg Poisson here. We're gonna bring these to you each night at the end of the day here at 8 o'clock. We're trying out a new program here, so we just kind of had to get a few bugs out. I thought we did, but you know how it goes. Anyway, I always start these things with apologies. But anyway, I just want to say welcome, and it's another great year. We got these guys were supposed to be here at 8:15. They're here on time. We're starting a little bit late, but so it was day one. We had the opening ceremonies last night. We live streamed that as well. I don't know if you saw that on our YouTube channel, but if you didn't, it's up there. You can go watch that. Ryan Gauld and Ryan Lockhart kind of interviewed a few people up there. Brett and Mel, for example. We talked about it. Today was interesting. I mean, it was a short day because it's day one. So we had a lot of practice, and then we hit the moto. So 250 Intermediate starts the show, as it always does, kind of. But as it wouldn't be Walton without it, Dave Bell made the usual, okay, everyone, there's a system coming in. Make sure you have all your things pulled down, batten down the hatches, because we're going to have some rain and some wind come in. And it did, so we had to postpone a few things.
Yeah.
But Greg, let's talk about, I don't want to make Brett and Mel wait too long here at all, but you raced today, so you can tell everybody the conditions of the track. How was it out there?
I don't really consider it racing. I was more of like a suffering.
He said it, not me.
I was riding and a little bit, and we had some bike malfunctions, some personal malfunctions. You know, it was a real eventful.
Tell us more about the personal malfunctions.
Just not in shape.
Oh.
And forgot how rutted Walton gets, and it's a whole nother beast.
A whole nother
beast. Yeah, well, it's been 10 years since I've raced here, so 10 years on the dot, so I totally forgot. And with the weather we had, it made the track and the dirt really soft and really rutted, and there's a few times I almost went over the bars because I got caught, my foot pegs got caught on ruts, and I forgot what that felt like. So yeah,
that feels like Walton. So it feels.
It gives a quick reminder. Yeah. Practice was a couple laps for me and a few guys in the vet classes because there was about 70 of us, and there was a lot of vet guys. And
you're supposed to have more even because you're supposed to have a split gate, but then the gate malfunctioned.
No, that was just practice. That was practice for so many of us, and then So then the races, there was in plus 30 there's B and there's C, and they were supposed to be both gates or both classes out at the same time. Ended up being split gates or split starts, which was kind of good, I guess, or separate starts as you call it. But it was track came around really good for what it was.
Right, but you had some problem. Unfortunately, you had a bike malfunction and you had to come off early.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's what he said. I know he faked it and cut a hose or something like that. He's like, I got no fluid.
Yeah, the coolant was coming out of everywhere. I think I was just holding the clutch in the whole time around the whole track, and it just made the bike overheat. But I didn't think that could happen in 4 laps, but it definitely did. So we're working on that for tomorrow.
All right. Well, we have there aren't that many races to talk about, and I don't want to start that now because we've got Brett and Mel have been kind enough over here. They supplied some lasagna too. We're Greg, myself, and James Lissamore were staying in a nice trailer right here, and they just, of course, Greg and I screwed up and went and got something to eat already, and we missed out on the lasagna.
I didn't know. Nobody told me.
I know, me either. Every night.
And my mom cooks every night.
Oh man,
and
okay.
morning breakfast.
Oh. She's saying breakfast as well. So
Anyway,
why don't we let's pull who's coming in to talk here? Who wants to come in?
You guys can both come if you want.
You guys both want to come in?
Yeah.
We've got one hot seat there.
I'll scoot.
You're gonna Okay, we're just kind of preparing for one person to come in. Okay, well let's get Brett Lee and Mel Lee. Sorry, Mel Lee first. Mel Lee and Brett Lee in here into the big show. Yeah, why don't you just walk in front of the camera, Greg? That's fine.
Sorry.
Amateur hour.
Amateur hour? What is this? Amateur hour?
Christmas. Oh, look at the delay. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, don't watch that. Just look
Okay,
up there. I know. Don't look at that. Try to ignore that. It's kind of weird. Oh no. What? Oh, it is weird. Oh, I can't stop looking. Yeah, my head's up in the FXR logo.
Look at that.
For goodness sake. All right. So wait, Mel Lee, Brett Lee. I mean, we saw them talk last night. If you watched the opening ceremonies, that's how I say it. Ceremonies. But guys, you did doing it again.
Yeah, this is many years.
How many years, Brett?
Well, it's 29 years for the event. I've been involved in them all, and Mel's been around for
Since 2005. So
yeah.
Who's good at math?
not me.
16 years. Look at
16 years.
16 years.
Slight
for you.
delay.
And then it's been under our watch, like fully under it for really 5 years, like our own deal, right? So I hope that people can tell the difference, right? Not that it was done bad, but I mean, you know, we have our own way of doing things, of course. So
Not quite 5 years. 2018.
yeah,
Yeah.
17 we laid down the event for a year, and then we came back. So this year has been awesome so far, and outside of like those 3 motos today, I thought
Right.
the track was national
Do
caliber.
the farmers ask you to say you're going to hold an event at different times in the year just so you'll bring in some rain?
They
So-
should start. We should farm that out actually and, you know, offer it as a service.
And I will point this one out because I like to defend myself, is that it is always this time of year that it rains in southwestern Ontario, not just in Walton. So like there's massive systems just move through southwestern Ontario this time of year, and just happens we're all hanging out in Walton when that happens.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, it's getting pummeled in Gopher too right now. So
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you also mentioned too. I know numbers. I mean, obviously you're always worried. Are people going to come? If you build it, will they come? This year they seem to have. You've mentioned something about the second largest. Is it pre-wrap? How was the? What was the numbers?
I
heard
actually
a
don't
fact.
even know the
I heard a
like
stat.
the
You're making stuff
final
up?
number right now. I was 8:46 when I left. I handed the computer off, and I don't know where we're at, but I imagine we're probably around the 860 mark, which is good. I mean, full gates is just under 1100, and
Okay.
there's waitlisted classes. There was alternates. There's real interesting types at roll call this morning. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard you guys were quite militant about the cutoff times.
well, we do everything at this event is based on timestamps, so that we never want to be like showing
accused of showing favoritism,
because
which
we may
happens.
do, yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But we can't, so we follow those timestamps, and those timestamps kind of indicate things. And like Mel said, last year people were able to sign in maybe a little later in the year, just like before we were kind of like asking people to sign in, and now I think it's kind of like it was 10 years ago, where next year the qualifier system that impacts the whole country.
Right. It's
We'll
been a bit of a strange couple of years, obviously, with
Yeah.
things going on. So.
Yeah. A couple years of COVID,
Right.
a couple years of the event being uncertain, and feel very, very confident heading into 2022.
The 30th anniversary of
The
Walton
30th next
TransCan.
year.
Yeah.
30th. So don't miss it.
GMC. Yeah, biggie.
30, 50.
Biggie.
50th for Walton Raceway as well.
Now tell us. Okay, Barry Hetherington doing the track. What does he want? What's his? What do you think his ideal track would be? Does he like rust? Does he like flat and fast? Does he like what is he like? What's he trying? What rough? What is he trying to do?
I don't know if I could describe Barry's favorite track, but I think Barry has the same sickness that any event producer has, which is you love to have to come in and save the day and, you know, be useful and everything. So even though days like today destroy the track a little bit and it's devastating because you've worked so hard, to be able to go in and fix it and make it rideable and have a great track the next day, like that is a great feeling, I imagine. I mean, I don't get in the dozer, but for me.
And I think as a track, I mean, so we have different goals on different events. And the goal on this event is that it's not easy, but it's not like unenjoyable, right? So we want the track to be pretty rough. Today was probably on the back end of like being almost too ruddy and stuff like that,
That
right?
50 GP
Yeah,
moto was
yeah, just because
intense.
and that was weather sort of handed to us. I feel like we did a really good job today of like bringing that track back from where it was, and that was based on like not just today. That was based on like a week out. Like we're just kind of playing it. Like we're looking at the forecast. We didn't cut it open. We didn't get water into it. We didn't water it, and there was a couple of reasons we didn't water it. But you know, like we came into today, and that was the best of a worst case scenario. But if we were handed like everything we could have, we've changed. We had a plan to change the way we were doing it from the last couple of years. You've seen it at Redbud this year. You've seen it at the early U.S. Nationals, where it's you see little skiffs of dust, so it's a little bit more, allows bikes to drift a bit more. And we're going to pack it a little tighter this year so that guys didn't get those sort of slot car ruts, that those ruts would form and you get out and sort of make it drift. But
Okay.
that was the goal. Like we just wanted to be a good racetrack. And like Mel said, she's right. We all have a sickness that we want to be relevant, have an impact, and be involved in having a great week, right? So it's part of it.
All right, now, obviously, this we here in Canada, the TransCan was patterned after Loretta Lynn's down in Tennessee and stuff like that. Do you take a look at what they're doing still and kind of, well, what can we do? Or you guys have now gotten so big, not so big, but you know what I mean? You've gotten so much experience that you're not even worried. You're just kind of going, you know what, we're going to do this. I don't even know if what they're doing.
I find it, for me personally, it's hard because Loretta's happens right before TransCan, and we're so consumed by this that I know it's happening,
Right.
but I don't pay attention to what's happening there. So maybe you're different, but it's full TransCan mode here when Loretta's is on.
Yeah, I'm the same. I tried to watch a little Loretta's this year, just because there's a couple classes I was tuned into, but I'll say this is that racing has changed a lot since the last time I went to Loretta's. So when I went there, it was about the track and it was about all that, and you just raced. I remember racing and that was it. We went and had barbecue at night with my family. We went to bed early. We got up. We raced. And now, even tonight, so racing has changed into this thing where it's so much about, and this is what Mel brings to it, and a lot is that it's the experience of the whole week, right? So we focus on, there is some. It's got to be an amazing race surface, like you said. With what does Barry do? We're trying to build a really competitive race surface, but we don't let that be it. Like, we're on our own world where we're bicycle parks, all the goofy stuff that we do after hours. That's on us, right? So our event has become like our own signature of our own things, where we do things that we think would be fun to do.
So you're looking back, you don't have a clue what Loretta's did in their evenings things. Like, you don't know, did they do a golf cart parade? Did they do
I don't. No, I don't.
No.
I mean, obviously that's such an amazing event that anything we could pull from that would be a great addition to this event if we had that opportunity. So,
but I think we have to go to it.
Yeah.
We have to go to it. You have to be immersed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at what Deschambault did. I got motivation from that, right? Like, I mean, having a swimming area, right? Like, we saw that and we're like, we need to do that. I think it's just you look at something, and there's a difference between, we talked about this the other night, there's a difference between doing a race and doing an event. And what TransCan is an event. What we do in, say, July or June is a race, right? You prep the track and you sit back. This, we try and create, what is that experience like from the moment you drive in the gate? I mean, we cut the grass Sunday and again on Monday because we want that experience to be that you're walking into an elite spot, right? And you feel
the smell of freshly cut grass.
That was part of it,
It
honestly.
is. No, I mean, it's true, right? Like, that experience is like, it's got to be from the moment you drive in the laneway. Sam Gaynor told me he used to come to Walton all the time and love it, but when he came to TransCan, he got nervous. It's the same place. Right. You just got to create a different experience. So, again, I have my strengths, she has her strengths, and we put them together and we create an experience at this event. The races are, Barry does races. We do events.
What year were you at Loretta's?
Oh, it was a long time ago. So it was 91? Yeah, it was a long time ago.
You had a good time.
It had a great time. He
still has his trophies. They're somewhere.
Yeah. The kids have wrecked them.
Right there.
No.
Everybody trips over them as they go.
You have to walk around it as you come
to get to the starting line.
Yeah. It was an amazing experience, right? For us, it was amazing. Obviously, I did well at that, and then
C-Class. Were you racing?
Yeah. It was just like, and honestly, I just bought it's a long story, but I bought a bike. I went to Redbud because we wanted to try and ride a 125. I'd never rode a 125 before, and I went out in the qualifier to their Loretta Lynn qualifier. It was qualifiers to get into a main event. I whole shot at the main event by luck, and it was a one-lap race because it was so muddy and dark at the end of the day, and they just took off, and I won it, and they gave me $1,000 from Honda to go to the next one, and I went to the next one. I won it, and I went to Loretta's, and I won most of my motos there, right? And it was easy for me to, it was a cool thing. We never had this whole plan, but when we got to Loretta's, we met the Coombs, and we just started doing different things, right? That's ridiculous, whatever that is. I believe it was Courtney Lloyd.
Of course. Gary, get it.
Yeah. So anyways, those are silly stories, but like when we met the Coombses, we just came home and said we wanted to do this. And that is literally, it was their inspiration that motivated us to do this. I just know that was what was off camera was ridiculous.
Oh man, I didn't see it. I'm a bad angle.
We have a Halloween trailer here because we did like a Halloween.
Somebody has found it.
All mean event ones, so it's been resurrected.
We've actually got a 450C Loretta's champion here this week too. We got Brendan Schofield took the win last week.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So watch for that. I'm assuming he's around the 409. That's kind of his number that he likes. Or
Yeah. And I mean that's a long time ago, right? And I would have loved to gone back and done it in other classes and stuff like that and things like that, but it's led to good things.
Now, how much does a setback like today, the rain? We're obviously going to be a little bit behind tomorrow. That's going to cut into breaks. What are we going to?
I think actually the last conversation we had, we haven't told anyone yet, is that we're going to move it to Saturday. The motos that we need to finish because we have a bit of a buffer between the last moto and the award ceremony, and it's easier to change one day's schedule versus 3. But the head ref Timmy Lee is just looking at that, trying to figure out if that's the best way to do it.
Okay, interesting. So right now we're going to start off with Thursday as it looks in the program that we're shooting for.
Yep.
That's
not quite the program, the revised schedule that everyone got.
The revised schedule. Because I guess, obviously, like you say, that's easier to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made lots of changes this year. When we dropped the 450 class this year, that changed our schedule around. And then once you take a class out, that eliminates gaps between motos. So that's why there's so many changes with the schedules this year. And then we're always trying to work with people to make sure that schedule's kind of, especially when it's a new one, not back to back or bike back to back. It was a bit more challenging than we
anticipated, and there were some last minute signups in the classes that weren't full. So, and a lot of the ones that signed up, it was classes that kind of overlapped a little bit. So it made it difficult. Originally the schedule worked great, and then the last minute additions, it didn't work great. So, but Tim, he handled me being annoyed with him for many days in a row over the schedule really well. So kudos to Timmy.
He's got the last name Lee. He can.
He just rolls
right.
off.
Yeah, just rolls right.
You take it good.
I heard somebody was upset about not getting to ride the whole track for the 50 class today. So.
I don't know.
I only heard about that secondhand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That was probably third or fourth hand for me.
We're never doing decisions to take away from someone's experience, as we said at the beginning. We want it to be the best it can be, and you leave here knowing that we did the best we can to make your deal good.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever talk about, sorry, I keep bringing up Loretta Lynn's, but do you ever talk about, let's just take their class structure and just plop it here? And I mean, because I know some classes have changed.
I don't even know their class
but I mean,
structure.
If you know what I mean.
So we're pretty close.
Yeah.
We're not far off on what they do there. And, but we don't have the option to have mod stock classes, which changes things a lot too, right?
That's
they had
true.
stock and mod, and that was always the thing. We don't have that kind of volume and sort of investment.
That'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Sorry, and investment from the industry, right? I mean, that's the one thing that Loretta's in the U.S. really benefits from is that we're different. Factory Cali, all those teams go there and they can invest in riders. So when you have a dozen factory teams that are there to do that sort of stuff, it helps prop up those classes.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about stock and mod, but I mean,
sure. Otherwise, we're pretty much the same. Yeah.
All right. Well, so we've got a full week coming up. I mean, this is only Wednesday. It's day one of the racing. Mm-hmm. We got
one mud moto.
One mud. We got that was.
The other motos were good.
By the way, can I just say, thank you very much for letting me park where I park. I mean, I can get through. I can get up. I can actually get information up to people on Instagram and let people. I mean, if they're not watching it live, so it's just changed my life. It's just amazing being able to sit right there. And plus, when it rains, I just sat right in the van.
Yeah, that video captured it. That was real life.
I literally did 5 of those, and every single time I said, I can't go any longer. As soon as I stopped, lightning and thunder, I'm like, oh, that's what I want.
I will say, though,
again.
As a promoter, you hate to see anyone talking about the rain, scary. Even though poor Gare. It's crazy. Every time I hear someone talking about rain, I get all nervous that people are going to hear about it and not want to come to the event and buy tickets and stuff like that, which is funny because Sam Gaynor just walked in. I guess he's your next guest. He's second in our ticket coupon discount riders of fans. We have that promo this year that fans can save $5 off their ticket, but $10 of that ticket goes to the rider.
Oh, right,
yeah. So Sam's second in that championship.
Who's first?
Dylan Wright is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan Wright, then Sam Gaynor. Yeah, so he's gonna get a small check.
Sam always gets involved in these races and things. Remember last time we did that last thing we did? Yeah.
He's gonna get a check out of us.
I don't know. The weather looks good.
By the way, Sam showed up here wearing a jacket. And you're wearing a hoodie. How are you?
I got soaked, Billy. I didn't have a van to run to, and I had to rescue flaggers, so I had to chill. I don't know if you can
see the humidity in here right now.
It's very thick right now. I'm feeling thick. Like,
I think the flies buzzing around kind of give it away.
Oh God, yeah.
Very Amazon.
Yeah, it is Amazonian. Yes.
You could open the garage door. You could do that. Then get a breeze.
A breeze, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's a thing that comes down, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a screen.
Yeah, there's a screen.
Billy, you tighten it up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I
You're just trying to make the palm trees flourish.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, they're almost in the shot there.
Close.
All right. Well, hey. Oh no! Now look what the cat just done dragged in.
You know, people on this don't see what you're talking about.
That's why I know. That was my segue for you to describe it. I might never describe it.
Yeah. Well, it's Carrie and Courtney. And,
two of the most influential and strongest women in Canadian motocross.
I've seen her bench 450.
Nice. I meant strongest, like, influential.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that a word?
I was thinking physically too, but
I've seen her bench.
I bet you they could. Yeah, I feel like.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. We're gonna have a fun week here. I mean, it's already.
It's gonna be a great week.
Already good. Like I say, obviously the first thing is people coming. They're here. The track's great. I mean, the racing is good. The racing at the front of almost every class has been fantastic. It's really cool that so many people have made it from BC, Alberta.
Yeah, there's a good depth of riders provincially.
And we've seen a lot of the fast riders, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, wait a minute, there's someone new coming in, right? And it's really cool to see.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and it's cool that people invest in what we're thinking. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Support us, right?
All right, you guys. Well, I'm guessing those two.
Do you want
over there?
Here? We can move. We can just wave goodbye.
I mean, no. I thought you were going to hang out with them.
Oh yeah.
No, we gotta pull Greg and Sam in here next.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll
wave
our way out.
Thank you very much for your time,
and
let me know about the lasagna before I go for dinner.
Supper every night, breakfast every morning.
Do we call it supper or dinner? What do you like?
I like supper because dinner I get confused about it being lunch.
You would literally say I'm gonna have some dinner at noon.
My grandpa used to. He'd be like, "It's dinner time," and I'd be like,
"That's the first time I've ever heard that. Probably the last time too."
Really?
It's true though. Specific. It is.
Yeah.
In the old days gone by, people.
Yeah, he's European,
you're right.
Like I think dinner time is lunchtime for Europeans. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Now, Gary, are you staying or are you going? I think Gary's going too.
No, Gary's going.
All right. Well, let's news team reunite. Come on. Come on over, Greg, and come on over, Sam. This is the fancy guest seat over here. You won't sweat as much in that one. You'll be happy to hear.
My sandals are all wet.
Sam's got a lot of interesting things to talk about today, actually, because there's a few things going on. I mean, so by the way, Sam Gaynor, everybody. Sam Gaynor, number 28, SSR TLD Gas team.
Yep.
Sam, thanks for hanging out. You're always generous with your time with us. You always come and hang out and stuff like that. I'm always happy to have you on here. Man, you've been doing this since you're a little kid. You've always been good at that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. My dad's always coaxed me into it, and I'm kind of, in a sense, kind of like my dad when he used to race. I'm not the fastest guy, but it's kind of like Brett and Mel was just saying. I'm second in that ticket thing, which is kind of cool in my eyes because that means that there's people that like me, there's fans and stuff. So doing this stuff just kind of gets myself out there, and that's just kind of what I like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so talking about this week. It's a different, like I joked in the Instagram post, this is not your grandfather's TransCan this year. I mean, if you look out there, we've got champions, we got pros. Pros are racing this week. It's a new deal, new year. I mean, it's kind of fun to see all you guys are going to take advantage of the extra track time. And you're not only even doing that, you're riding a 125 out there, for goodness sake.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be a fun week. This year has been a very big struggle of a year for me. It hasn't been that much fun, just kind of been smashing my head against the wall wondering what the hell's going on. So this week's just kind of one of those weeks that we ride the 125 and just bring smiles back. Doesn't matter where I finish, obviously. I mean, I want to do well, but if I don't do well, it doesn't matter. It's just out on the 125 having fun. And then we're in the pro class this week as well, which is super stacked. It's
literally a national. Everybody's racing.
And for us, it's even more of a national because we're racing the 450s as well. So it's even more.
Oh, right. It's just all combined for sure.
Yeah. So it's it'll definitely be a really fast-paced class. So, yeah.
We'll talk about the. I don't know how much 125 experience. I mean, I was watching you and coming around the right corner before the natural. You were just trying to get everything you could out of that thing.
Yeah, I rode it once when my dad very first got it because it's actually my dad's bike, and then. He's always been bugging me since then. He's like, come on, just ride it. And I'm like, no, I'm just sticking with the 250. And then we went riding at a track right before Deschambault, and me and Ryan Derry were riding, and then my dad's like, just take the 125 out. Like, it doesn't matter if you suck, just go out on it. And then I was almost a bit quicker than Ryan, but we were pretty much the exact same speed, and I was on my 125, he was on his 450. And I was really...
That's a dig. Ooh,
yeah,
teammates. We'll have to get Ryan on here.
The teammates were just going at it, you know? So anyway, so then after that, Steve and my dad and everyone were just like, you have to race this at Walton. And then I rode it one more day after that at Moto Park and set a new lap record at Moto Park when I was there. So ever since then, it was just like, well, then... we have to do it. So now we're here. That's awesome. Today in practice it was kind of muddy, and it was for the natural. There's a couple other ones, but yeah, it was all the bike had. But it was fun.
It was a little bit muddy in practice. I'll say I was right before those guys, and it was.
You didn't do your job. You're supposed to be spinning it out there, just drying it up for these guys.
Yeah,
it was better for them. Okay. It was definitely better for them.
Yeah, spitting all the mud off for us.
Exactly.
Does this mean we're going to see you in the premix class on Sunday? You could race everything.
No, I'm not ballsy enough for that.
His dad just walked in, so let's get him racing everything.
Yeah, we'll get the whole band doing it.
Yeah, let's get you out
there.
There
you go.
You know what? I'm going to line up.
If the bike makes it through, you can do it.
I'm going home to get my gear, and I'm going to ride it.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, why not, right?
Out there. My vertigo's gone.
Okay. Here we go.
Sir, Greg, would you have any questions for Sam?
No, not really. I mean, you've been kind of doing all the talking, so I didn't really get involved with this. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're throwing daggers all over the place now. Well, no, okay. So, Sam, what was your first? Here's a kind of like a standard question, but what was your first TransCan? What did you race it on 50s, or did you race on? What was it?
I'm trying to think what year my first year would have been. Probably 06. Yeah, I would say 06 in the 4 to 6 class.
4 to 6.
Yeah.
06.
And then I have one title in 50cc 7 to 8 in 2009, and then 2016 I have 2 championships in I forget but 2 junior classes. So I've been here. I think I went from 2006 till 2017 almost every single year, and then 2018 I went to Loretta's, and then when I got home from Loretta's I got hurt and broke my shoulder, and then 2019 I couldn't race it because of the rule, and then last year same thing.
Right.
But yeah, so I've raced almost every year since 2006.
So what's crazy about that is he was racing here on 50s in 2006. I was fully on 250Fs at that point. I was like on big bikes.
You're old.
I am old.
Yeah, it was actually funny. Last year
I'm old.
Last year, me and Sean Moffenbauer, we were all at team dinner, and we were talking about how in 2009 I got, I think, 3rd in Toronto for Supercross, the KJSC, and then I actually won Montreal. And he's like, you won Montreal in 2009? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's the year I broke my femur in Montreal racing pro.
Oh, wow.
So,
did you call him old there, too?
Yeah, no, Moff is old. He's old like me, though. He's, yeah, that's funny. That's a lot of years, right? It's been, some of these guys, it's been a long time. It's good to see that.
Yeah, it was cool. When I first turned pro, we actually looked it up a couple times, and like Michael Lessie was he turned pro when I was 3 years old and stuff like that. So it's cool to race against them down the line.
Thanks for dating all of us.
Yeah.
I've never felt so old in my life.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm older than you, so
yeah, you're older than me.
Not making me feel anything.
I'll be older, yeah. So it's always, well, for me, my birthday's always been at Walton, so it's always been like something we've
next Friday, right? Or this Friday?
This Friday, August 13th. So 43, yeah. Yeah, 43. No, I'll be 33. But yeah, because I remember coming here when I was a kid. Like it was like early '90s on a 50. So it's on. There was a separate 50 track over there, and you know the racers were so different. Like there was, you know, JSR, Blair Morgan, all those guys, Chris Pomeroy. Like, so it's interesting to see the perspective that we talk about. You know, with Sam racing. You know, and I was like fully on big bikes and had been on big bikes for a number of years at that point. So. Yeah, that's a real kick in it. But
Sam, do you have any advice for Greg out there? His motos?
Go faster.
Just have fun.
What you doing wrong out there?
Everything.
I didn't really watch closely, but it just looks like you gotta have more fun.
Yeah,
it's you know.
He's right.
The TransCan, it is a serious race and stuff, but. Just have fun.
Yeah,
the more fun you're having, the faster you go.
Easy to beat you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna I'm just going home, guys. See ya. No, it's true.
Loading your bike up.
No, it's true. It's true. It's funny. You can easily get wrapped up in it, no matter what class you're in. I'm sure there's guys in the plus 50 class, and and kids in the 50 class that take it super serious, and it's
we know there are.
Oh yeah, there is. So it's easy to get wrapped up in it and kind of lose the idea that it's supposed to be fun, because when you're having fun, you're usually going fast. So.
And realistically, it's motocross.
Dirt
30
bikes,
years,
boys, yeah.
30 years down the road, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, Greg Poisson didn't,
Hey,
win this race."
If I'm still around, I will be.
yeah, 30 years from now, well, I was 3 riding bikes, so yeah, the people don't forget. No, that's true though. That's very, very true.
All right. Well, now you like doing this kind of stuff. You come and hang out with us all the time. It's great that you do this stuff. Do you get involved in any of the evening program? I mean, obviously it's canceled tonight because of the rain we had, but will you kind of hang out with the kids and do some of the other stuff during the week?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be around at everything. I'll be at bingo and stuff. I mean, wasn't asked to
Oh,
help
what'd you do
or
wrong?
anything,
What'd you
but-
do wrong? You have to do bingo?
Yeah. What does the punishment?
I'll be there trying to win.
Oh, you're playing?
Yeah, I'm gonna play.
That's good.
And then yesterday,
When's bingo? When's bingo?
I don't know when it is. I haven't
See,
even
it's
looked.
there's every year they do bingo though.
I know,
That's
but
when they
is,
give.
is it
What
on
night? I
here?
wanna go.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. It might be
Not
on
on
our
the
schedule.
That's the
schedule
race
here?
schedule.
That's the race schedule, so yeah, it might not be
No.
on there.
James Lismore, he's on it right now. He's our
No.
producer.
It's
Tomorrow, he
tomorrow.
says.
It's tomorrow, so I'm gonna be a big
Thanks,
winner
James.
tomorrow.
Okay. What time, James? That conflicts with our show. We'll be in here playing bingo.
8 in the p.m.
Yeah. And then yesterday I went on the Atlas track walk with Ryan and those guys.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
kinda
That was a bit
cool.
rough yesterday, was it not? Did you walk on the track?
Yeah, I walked most of it.
Oh,
The shoes were
man.
a little muddy. But
Yeah, geez, it's wouldn't be Walton without a little bit of mud, I guess. That's always
Mhm.
seems to be the case. So
Yeah.
All right. So when you're okay, so you're riding the 125. You say you're just having fun. Is that just for fun? You're just gonna kind of go out there and goof off and see what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously we're gonna take it a little serious.
Yeah.
But we're not. I'm not expecting to win, and obviously, I mean, I don't want to not do well, but I'm just going out there to have fun. I mean, as like I said, this year's been a bit of a, head banging against a wall kind of year. So we're just trying to bring some fun back to it, smile, have some fun. I haven't raced TransCan in a little while, so just kind of bring it back to the grassroots and build back up.
All right.
So.
cool.
T-Moner Steve, he was in a great battle for second in his race out there, but then did he hurt his foot again? Or
Yeah,
is
he
okay?
did. Yeah,
Oh,
he
no.
twisted it in a rut.
Ah,
So in the valleys over there.
Is he okay though,
So-
or is he?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna finish the week out. I haven't really talked to him much, but I know he twisted his foot again. So.
he's tough. He'll do it if he can.
he,
Obviously.
if he's anything, he's tough. I'll give him that. So
Yeah.
that's he's gonna have to try to beat Donk after today. So that's
That's
Donk
right.
and-
Don't
and
took
Donk
the win.
and
Yeah, we
Mark.
can talk.
Yeah,
Like I
we
say,
gotta
there are
get
only a
into
few races that happened, so we can certainly talk a bit about what happened there when we set Sam free here. But yeah, so you mentioned kind of banging your head against the wall. Is it a 250, 450 thing? Like, do you want to get back into the 450 class, or are you trying to learn?
No,
What do
it's definitely like me and my dad have talked about it. It's I want to prove to everyone that I can ride a 250, especially because there's so many people out there that say I can't do it.
And you called everybody meatheads.
Yeah, and I called everyone meatheads, but no, it's
People don't forget, I guess.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
People don't forget.
But no, it's kind of I want to prove everyone wrong, and it's just been, new bike, new brand, different size motor, everything. I mean, I'm not gonna put it all on that. It's obviously partly myself, but it's just been a bit of a frustrating year. So, we're gonna take this off season. We're gonna rest for a little bit. I got to go back to work, make some money, and then hopefully the borders will be open, and I'll go down south, and then next year hopefully we can come out swinging a little more than we did this year. So.
Okay. Hey, we talked a long time ago before the season that you were going to bust out a special butt patch. Did I miss that, or is it?
Yeah,
coming
you
out?
did. I even posted on Instagram and everything.
Ah, I totally
But
missed
I brought it, so I can
it. Oh,
wear
okay.
it tomorrow.
You better
if you
wear.
want.
Yeah, you better throw it on there
This
again.
guy, I tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
I'll
scroll.
post it on Instagram and I'll tag you in it.
I'm trying to create content. I don't sit there and scroll content. That's my problem. I
Oh.
can't. I
Okay,
don't
so
have
you want
time
me
to
to
sit
just
there.
send you it then?
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know. Yeah, you're gonna.
Okay. I
Come
said we
on.
need to find the clip where I say they're meatheads, and then right after that
Oh,
have
that's-
the butt patch.
That's right. That's what you got to do. I am now a meathead.
Yeah.
He's such a savage.
Big bus for
Yeah.
throwing people under. It's just
Yeah, that
there's
bus
room.
is-
There's room for everybody.
I think I saw it out parked over there. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
jacked up.
a
here
big
just to
bus,
get- make more room.
big mud tires.
All right, Sam. Well, anything else you want to talk about there? Anything you want to touch on? Anything going on?
Not really. I'll just, I'll be around all week, so if anyone wants to come by, say hi. We have posters, stickers, everything. I think we have some banners to give away, some stuff like that. So if anyone wants to come by, just come on by the TLD Gas SSR pit and come say hi to me or Ryan Derry. And yeah, it'll be yeah.
Actually, come
Jeff
by and say
over there?
Jeff first. Yeah, because Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff
he just went like this. He's not talking to anybody.
Yeah. No, they've got probably one of the brightest pit setups, I'd say, in the pit. So
it's
not hard to miss. Yeah,
it's primary colors.
Pretty
right?
good looking setup. I would
it
say.
is. No, it is. It's really good.
Steve's
done a real good job with that. So it's good to see Steve out there racing too, and chasing his 5th plus 30B title.
Oh, see, there.
And,
Jack the bus up a bit. Yeah,
is this not the 4th?
I think it's the 4th.
It could be his 4th. Who knows? I was already chirping.
I said he was already 4 times.
Him and I were already joking with each other.
Your Instagram post really had some comments on it. Got serious.
I know people are.
There's a lot.
I should have just said 3 times. I'm sorry.
Either way, it's still like people are gonna jump all over that. That's the worst part. And it's not even to his own. Up until this year, there isn't a plus 30A. That's one thing that not a lot of people know about. Years previous, there was, but hey, I don't care. They didn't make a move up, so why would you? It doesn't bug me. I have to race against the guy, so I don't care.
True.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm good to see that he's not hurt, because I know he was hurt earlier. Or did he?
No, he didn't.
No, I knew he busted himself up a little bit.
Oh, because they actually took his X-ray, told him it wasn't broken. And then he was leaving for Sandali National, and they called him when he was halfway there and said, "Hey, can you come back and get a cast because your foot's broken?" And he's like, "No, I'm halfway to Ottawa. I'm not getting a cast."
Yeah, I don't see Steve being much of a cast guy either.
I didn't even see him limping.
No, I don't.
He's supposed to have a cast. He's off camera. We got that.
This guy's a character. You need to bring him on.
Yeah,
you need to bring this guy on.
Bring him later on.
Talking road racing and stuff.
Later on in the week.
Yeah.
Later on in the week,
he gets his own segment.
Yeah. He's quite the character. But no, other than that, just come by the pit, come say hi, hang out, and other than that, I'd just like to thank all our sponsors, TLD, Gas, Steve Sims. I for sure wouldn't be where I am without Steve. He's believed in me when I haven't believed in myself and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be where I am without Steve. And then all the team sponsors. I mean, I don't have them memorized. Haven't been on the podium yet this year, but I know there's.
I can read them off the shirt for you.
Pirelli, Motul, Tear Off Gaskets, Train Custom Carpentry. There's so many. I don't even know them all. Pro Taper. There's all of them. But then my mom, my dad, I wouldn't be here without them. They've done stuff not only just this year, but every single year in the past for me. I wouldn't be where I am in my racing without them. And then people, from my past, like Ian Hayden and stuff, those guys have helped me out a ton to be where I'm at now. So thank all those guys for sure. And thank you guys for having me on the show.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Right, wouldn't be one of our projects without having you on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. We always drag you in here.
That's true.
Alrighty. Well, I'll see you guys
later.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
Sam.
for coming.
Thanks, Jeff.
We'll see ya.
There's 1 million viewers on here.
1 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It sounds a little lower than usual, but.
Yeah, seems like a little low.
All right, that was Sam Gaynor. Hey, Sam, how old are you now?
I just turned 21.
Just turned 21. So that was Sam Gaynor. Watch for him. Ripping the 125, racing the 250 on Sunday.
And number 28.
Number 28. We'll talk him into racing previews.
See you guys.
See you guys. All right. Well, we don't want to keep you guys here too long here, but there were only a few things. So there was some racing to talk about. Greg?
Yeah, a little bit of racing today. Started off with the 250 intermediate class. The Sebastian Racine show, as we'll call it. I was on the line for that one because I was a moto after that. So I got to watch a little bit of that. And Seb gets out front and just basically checked out. From what I saw, he was gone.
He did, but let's not count out number 164. Wyatt Kerr was pushing hard. He had to make some passes because he didn't get the greatest start.
No, didn't get the start. By the
Seth
looks
Hughes
of it.
grabbed the whole shot.
Yeah,
I picked him. I put money on him.
He is a good starter. That kid.
Well, he weighs $120.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah, but
high.
he did well at the at Walton here at the National. He shot.
Yeah, he did twice.
So, he is no joke off the start. So watch him and get some tips. But so it seemed intermediate. I mean, the track was kind of just gone over a little bit. The track was pretty hard. I didn't want to say anything when Brett was here because it'd be tough. But it was tough to race on today because it was really like those kind of slot car ruts, and they were really, really deep in certain spots. That's my own opinion and perspective. But I mean, obviously, there's other guys going extremely fast on it. But from what I'd heard from other guys too, that it was pretty tough because of all the rain we did have last night and yesterday. And I mean, they did a great job with turning it around because I thought at one point we weren't going to be racing. So we only had one practice session today too, so we didn't get those two sessions for each class, which would have maybe helped a little bit, but it was the right decision in my call.
Yeah, and what they did too is they let all the practices go, and then they tilled it up and tried it because it was sunny and breezy too, so it was going to dry up. So they wanted to kind of get some
fresh dirt at the top,
but then you had to go out and it was pretty still a bit rough for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely the one part of the track, the the first half, we'll call it, was really good, and then the second half was still quite rutted, and it was man, I'll tell you, like it's if you're not used to riding ruts, you need to prepare before you come, because it's I forgot all about how deep it gets here and how gnarly it can get. So
were you looking ahead?
No, not enough, and I
Just
wasn't
staring straight down,
and I wasn't breathing either. I don't think. I think my heart rate got to about 190 or 192. I gotta look, but it was gnarly. But they did a great job, and like the rain that we got last night, this morning, overnight, I guess you call, or yesterday as well. It's I mean the track could have been a complete slop fest, and that's what a lot of us expected.
I saw a bit of dust at the top of the tunnel jump even.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be that. I mean,
it
came around for sure, and it's going to be. It was supposed to, look a little bit better. We got drenched on again. We're supposed to get more rain tonight, so we'll see how it goes for the rest of the week, or tomorrow at least, and we'll go from there. But the Brett and everyone here are going to do their best, and we are racing outdoors. There's nothing they can do about it, so it's they got to roll with the punches.
That's right. Well, just to talk about a couple. We mentioned Sebastian Racine and Wyatt Kerr first and second. Behind him was Zach Eufemzef, and a nice little battle behind that was Peyton Morningstar ended up battling there with Seth Hughes. So Seth Hughes had a good race. Peyton and Zach Eufemzef kind of been interchangeable in that third spot behind those two top guys. They are definitely the kids to watch as they move up into pro.
Yep.
Moving forward, Sebastian and Wyatt. So they're close, and the other guys are just kind of nipping at the heels. Just a little bit off the pace, not too far.
Yeah, pretty funny to see the two like Morningstar and Hughes battling, because there's huge massive height difference.
Biggest guy and smallest guy.
Yeah, I'd say that they're definitely the tallest and then the smallest, and that's not a dig at Hughes. He's just not a very big guy, but that's how he can get those good starts, because he's just gone. Yeah, great. I mean, it looked like some great battling, and the future looks good for the pro class, because it's been I think a few years since we've had a few. Like a good group come up. We've always had a few, a couple good guys every year, one or two at least. But looks like if all these guys go pro next year, which I think a majority of them are, from what I understand, that's going to be a pretty good crop of new first year pros, rookie pros. So that would be good to see that.
Yeah, I'm watching Wyatt and Sebastian just bang bars. Like if they're ever together, they're leaving it on the track and going crazy.
That's good to see.
After and before the races, they're hanging out, they're goofing off. Afterwards, they're high-fiving. Like they just, they're not being Mr. Nice Guys on the track by any means. Like they are going for it. But afterwards, they're just like, it's done, and they're just kind of moving on. It was cool. Like before in the opening ceremonies, hanging off on the wings there before they went up on stage. They were hanging out, showing things on. They're goofing off.
Yeah, Snapchatting, whatever kids are doing these days. That's good. Yeah.
Look at this. I got number 245 out. This next one. Next race was 30B and C. Again, like we mentioned earlier, the split one.
Yep.
30B went off first.
Yeah, a little bit. The plus 30 class is like one of the most talked about classes this year. It seems like it's controversial in the way that they've labeled it, and some of the people that are in it, and how they've moved around in the age classes, and it's whatever, it's racing at the end of the day, and it's to me it doesn't really matter. It's just all this good guys and good people and good racing, and plus 30 for my good buddy Donk. Not to say I didn't expect it, because he's always been very fast, and he's always at times been fit. Other times he'll admit he definitely hasn't been, and he'll be the first.
Fit Donk now, man.
No,
skinny
he is.
Donk,
Yeah, skinny Donk, and out there and was gone from what I saw, and like unreal. Good, so stoked for him, and good to see that. And then obviously I was in the class, so I couldn't really see a lot of it, but I saw that Simsy and Mark Dion, the KTM truck driver, were going at it, and that's good to see. And it was good vibes. Like it was really good in staging, because everyone's there to have a good time, but they all take it pretty serious too. Like they're there to, they put their time and their money into it. Nobody, like mom and dad, aren't paying for it anymore. It's their own money. If you're 30 plus and your parents are still paying for it, well, you've got a pretty good deal. But yeah, it was good. Track was a little bit still, like I said, the back half was a little bit gnarly, and the front half was better. My moto was not, my performance is not great by any means, but it's been, I was saying it's been since 2014 since I've even done a gate drop. So it's been a really long time, and I kind of just forgot about how to do it all. And let me tell you, I pumped up within like three corners. I was completely locked, and I don't think I breathed or took a breath for the whole thing. I was just so stiff, and then ultimately I had a bit of a bike issue, but it was I'd say 90% rider and 10% bike. Luckily the bike was still good, but we'll be back for more.
Right. You pulled off and saved the bike, right? If you had kept going, you could have done some damage. Am I right?
Damage.
You better have. That better be the case.
Damage to myself.
You better not have pulled off and the bike was fine.
No, damage to myself. For sure. No, it was definitely more me.
Hey, before I forget, I want to mention, and I meant to mention something about this before, but Sandalee. I really haven't spoken to Donk about this, but he had the race of his life. I mean, I wish I'd made a deal about it because I watched it. He was down in the first turn, dead last. He came back and won that. That's the kind of race that you will never forget. Donk came back and won that moto and passed everyone at that race.
Was that first moto or was that?
I can't remember which moto it was, first or second,
I commentated
amazing.
on the second one and he won that one too, but he was out front for all that.
Yeah,
one, so,
it must have been the other one.
The first
yeah,
one.
it was in Donk. So man, if you're probably not watching it, but if someone
Yeah.
tells him, but it was incredible. I meant to make a bit of a deal about it because that was, like I say, something he'll remember forever, and I want to let him know that I paid attention when I saw it.
Donk's had a complete resurgence in this, and like today he was gone. Like from what I saw and what I heard, he was just out front and gone. So, really good to see that. So yeah, plus 30C didn't really, obviously, unfortunately, like I said, I was out there. Didn't really see anything with that. I think it's a good idea to have that class. We need somewhere for like a real sportsman attitude and sportsman idea, because there's in the vet classes especially, there's a very competitive group, and then there's a very sportsman style group that they're out there to have fun, and I mean everyone's there to have fun, but there's two different attitudes, and I think that can really split the group. So it's a good idea to maybe have the two. We'll just have to figure that out in the future, how that all kind of the letters. It's always the letters after the ages that seem to ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
So
and that one, I'm going to butcher the name, but it was number 995 Connoisseur. Connoisseur.
995 in 30.
Yeah, 95, 993. Anyway, he had a good race. 75 was behind him. So anyway, after that we had the women's race. Ladies, they're calling it here. Obviously, Eve Brodeur is the one to beat, but number 4, Malia Garant, she is close. Like she was.
Mm-hmm.
She kept her in sight today. I mean, Malia, she's got a really good style. Like she's certainly not a tall rider, but she's all over. She throws her, throws her legs around. Just kind of, she looks comfortable on the bike.
Yeah, I watched her in practice actually. In practice was a complete gong show for everybody. There was not really,
No.
it was tough. And she looked good. Like, and she, like you said, she's not very big at all. She's pretty short in stature. To see that, so no, she was someone I was paying attention to.
Mm-hmm. And as they came through lap traffic too and stuff like that, it kind of tightened it up a bit, and then Eve would get through and it would spread out again. I mean, let's face it, nobody's going to beat Eve Brodeur right now. She's
at the
cream
top
of
of
the crop
her,
for sure.
top of her game,
but Heidi Cook is here.
Not racing, doesn't have a bike. I talked to Heidi today. Had a great chat. It was good to see Heidi. I don't know if she's probably not watching this.
We're trying to get them to go head to head.
Yeah, where there's going to be wagers put place, because they're the two, I think, the two best Canadian women racers we've ever had. And there's kind of like no offense to Heidi, but different generation. She's a bit more of the old school, and Eve is the new school. So it'd be neat to see them go head to head in the future.
My money's on Eve, and I'm going to say that just so it riles Heidi up enough to come out and do it.
My money's on Heidi. I said that's what it was. Let's put it down right now. My money's on Heidi, 100%.
It's okay, Barry. Come on in. Barry Hetherington. All right, so that's how that went there. Let's talk about next race was the 50 GP. I mean, we've been watching some really fast kids. Like I was at the ECAN watching some kids. Chandler Powell, real fast kid, but he got beat. Number 518, Parker Hatt out of Alberta came out and put it to everybody. He is getting tall. I don't know if you happen to see that one, but
no, I didn't. Unfortunately,
he's about as big as you're going to want to be and be on a 50. He's just working that bike for sure. So he's had a growth spurt.
He's riding that. This probably his last year on, I assume. But the 50 class, it's really impressive to see the kids. It's funny, like Sam and I will sit here and talk about it. I'm sure when Sam started, he was probably on a PW, and Davey Fraser and I were actually joking about it. And we were like, when we started racing, we were all like Honda QR50s, PW 50s, like Yamaha PW 50s, and things like that. And now they're all Cobras and KTMs and gas and this, and like they're all just like mini race machines when we were on like these little putter trail bikes. So it's crazy to see like the technology and how far it's come. And I mean, it's been a long time, almost 30 years for some of us, but they're amazing bikes, and it's just the riders are getting so much better, and the tracks are, I mean, it was good to see them out there for sure.
Well, how about the funniest thing that was said all day? You're talking about Davey Fraser. He's sitting there. We're watching that 50 GP. He's like, I'm just trying to watch and see who I'm going to be up against in 10 years.
Yeah, because Davey will still probably be racing. He's an absolute wily veteran, And that's the definition of Davey. So it's cool.
Just classic. He's seen many eras, come and go. Kids have come and gone and stuff like that,
Yeah, I love that guy. He's always got a good story, and he's been around. He's done it all. He's raced everywhere, and he's not afraid to line up anywhere either.
Nope.
I know there's been talk of him going south to dip his hat in or dip his shoes in, whatever you call it. Whatever the term is, after I don't even know. After this one,
cliches aren't his strength.
Nope, they are not. But after this, after the national series, so I mean, the guy's just he's a class act. It's cool to see. So
he's
kind of like the new
Daytona.
T-Dags.
Man, he was the first alternate in Daytona. Man, he was sitting there waiting at the gate. Yeah, turned around. And then he was going to go to Indy, but then COVID happened, and that all got canceled. So that's too bad.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, never heard of her.
All right, so that was 50 GP. That's the Parker hat. I don't think he's going to be touched in that one. And then we moved to Super Mini. Now, it started out as a really good battle. I think Cole Pranger must have had some troubles, but Cole Pranger, Dylan Rempel show. I mean, if you're not into watching Super Mini races, I don't know what you're doing, because that's my favorite race to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Super Mini, I love watching fast, aggressive kids on 85s and Super Minis, because they are just all over the bikes, or whipping it off everything, or scrubbing everything. They're like you come up with, you see new techniques that come up in racing and riding, and it seems like the kids on 85s are the ones that emulate it the quickest, or they kind of put it into their riding style. So I mean, it's awesome. Dylan Rempel's a real beast on that bike too, and he's got some good competition now. So with Gavin Forsby as well, I think he was in that moto.
Yeah, he ended up third.
Yeah, so there's definitely, I think anyone can win. Rempel's definitely kind of one of the.
I think Gavin's only like 11 or 12 or so. He's really young in that class.
Yeah, but he's big. He's tall. He's like his dad. His dad's
he's young though.
Yeah, his dad's a big guy. So.
Future.
It's a strong future.
Running the 111 too. That's bold.
Okay. Greg Albertine. Oh, did I just date myself? Because it could be Grant Langston. It could be.
I think of him. I think of number 8.
Langston. Yeah.
No, Albertine. Well, both of them actually.
Yeah, this is Pro South African, right?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Too bad Liam O'Farrell didn't choose that as his permanent number. Liam did not think that one through. Anyways, it's cool to be back and be here for the week. It's been a long time. Like I said, 10 years since I've been back here for the week. And watching all these motos and seeing these kids and just being a part of it, and the shenanigans that happen and stuff like that. Obviously, it's been pretty, it's day one and it's been pretty wet, so things are pretty subdued. But it's going to be fun.
Well, there wasn't supposed to be the last moto of the day, but it ended up being the last moto of the day, the plus 40B class. I know the gentleman with 2 first names. He got out front. That's Gary Michael. Gary Michael. He's okay. He's good with the jokes. We talk about it all the time. But Gary Michael got out first. The guy is amazing at starts. He had a good lead, and then the guys were kind of trying to chase him down. And it turns out Dan Trico did chase him down and took that win. I have no idea because I didn't see it. If you saw our Instagram, our Facebook page, I was sitting in the van just taking video through the window. It was coming down so hard. Have you ever raced in rain that hard? It is incredible.
Not sure.
So the wind came up. Everybody panicked. Dave Bell made the get to your vehicles, pull in your awnings, batten down the hatches and stuff. So anyway, the rest of the stuff was canceled, as we mentioned earlier. Evening program
postponed. Everything's been postponed.
Sorry.
So it's not canceled, postponed. We're supposed to get some more rain tonight. They're talking about even hail and stuff. It's just crazy. It seems like this time of year, and I don't know why they just don't move the date, because it seems like it's just whatever.
That's funny, isn't it?
But whatever the date is, it just seems to happen. So good to see. We got through some motos today, and we start bright and early tomorrow with what's tomorrow? I'll just have a quick peek at this.
Yeah.
We got Schoolboy right at the beginning, and then Pro-Am's actually early, 8:20, so that'll be a good one to watch as well. That's good. Like I said, mini national. Right, they're just missing a few guys for it to be. I know T-Dags is only racing plus 25, so he's not going to be out there. But there's Marshall Walton I saw out there today, Darren Sinai. Because I know in the past they made a rule that you couldn't compete in the TransCan, I believe. There's some sort of rule, because Sam brought it up of the rule, he called it.
Yeah, and then there was the 96-hour rule too, right? So you can't be this close to a national.
So I think they've changed that now.
Yeah.
So that a lot of guys,
free for all.
A lot of guys are taking advantage of it. It was cool. Like I'm pulling up, for example, for vet practice, and I see the 16 on a KTM, and I see, I'm like, Tom, I'm like, what the hell is Kyle doing in Cole's gear? Because Cole, he used to wear Cole's gear all the time. And I actually went up to him, and I thought it was maybe Kyle or Jay or someone. And no, it was Cole. And Cole was just, he was going to go out. He went out after us in the pro practice, but he was just ended up going up a bit early. And I was talking to him for a quick minute, and you know, he's here to get some time on the track and taking advantage of it. Why not, right? And it's good to see. So there's a lot of fast guys that are going to be in Pro-Am, and plus 25 looks like another Pro-Am class.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So it's like you say, there's lots of fun stuff, lots of cool. Every class has a story in it. There's guys coming back from injury that I'm surprised to see. For example, in the junior class, watch for Charles Charlton. I mean, he broke his thumb at Deschambault, came up short on that the leap, and did a hyperbaric chamber, and he's back. He's here. Yeah, he's just
chambers.
Yeah, he chipped something. He didn't do the gamekeeper's thumb or anything like that. So it's not like something like that. So if it's a bit of pain, he can go through it. But he said he doesn't feel any pain. It's been like literally not long at all.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess.
And a couple other things we didn't mention too. A couple of big things, like number 54, talking about Ben Leclerc. Speaking of the junior class, not racing this week. I mean, he killed it at the Ecan at Deschambault. Yeah,
I mean, Ben is. We watched him a bit in the preseason and knew he was going to be super fast. So it's odd to see him not here. Obviously, I guess you mentioned there's some family commitments, some changes.
Yeah, his brother. They're road racers, right? So his brother's doing his second ever pro race in the. I guess it's in
the Superbike series. So
that's
their 600 maybe.
At Mosport this weekend or something.
Yeah, so it's good to see that, and I know Ben's here, but
he won the Yamaha at Deschambault.
I guess I don't give that to him till next year because he said his bike wasn't 100%, so he couldn't race. But so he's not racing.
And another couple. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to talk about this, but I think there's a chance. I know Casey Keese is here, but we might see him in the 450 class. Are we allowed to talk about that?
I don't know. It's up to Julian. You know, Julian. People call him T-Moan, or we just call him Julian as a joke. But he is talk. I know Casey's here. He wanted to ride. He wanted to get some time in because he does want to race on the weekend, but he is going to be in for Supercross, so that's good. And we know Casey's got that experience. So I know the PRMX team will have 2 bikes in the 250 class at Supercross rounds for sure. Him and Tyler Gibbs, Gibby. So that should be good. Their new rig is here. That's pretty cool.
We sold in today.
Yep. So that's where we'll be for the rest of the week. So it should be
okay.
Should be good.
And we got a couple more little notes I made. My notepad. Some people don't like it. I find it very useful. 29 feels like 40. There's a lot of humidity in the air is what I'm saying. That's what the forecast was. 29 feels... Oh, you're tired there?
A little bit.
Jeez, why you stare in the camera and show them your teeth? Dave Bell, you might be wondering, has he updated his playlist? You know, when you come to the TransCan, it gets in your head and you... No, he hasn't. It's the same... You get the same songs. Dave Bell, you're killing me out there. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, and the 6:30 thing in the morning, man.
The Rooster.
Like we get it. If you're not... But in my opinion, this is just my opinion. In my humble opinion...
I think it's great.
If you're not up and ready for your motos, I don't need to be up for. If I'm not up for first moto, I don't need to be up at 6:30 in the morning. That's the way I look at it. That's between Dave and I, and maybe we'll fight it out later. But
places need things that they're known for, and Dave Bell with his Rooster Call, TransCan is known for that, so I love it. I keep it. I don't care. We're far enough away that we can barely hear it, so it's okay. So we don't care.
You must be a heavy sleeper then, because James and I both.
Well, I heard it. Don't worry, I heard. I did hear it. Yeah. But and also one last thing here, just to mention before we cut it loose here for tonight. There's a chance Noah Viney, the fast Canadian from Ottawa, who now calls Murrieta, actually had that amazing, if you didn't watch Loretta Lynn's, the final day, the final moto, where he held off Hayden Deegan, and then Deegan went down, and Noah ended up taking that win. They were going to try to hop in the vehicle and come straight to the TransCan, but unfortunately I spoke to his dad, Ulf Viney, and they're not coming. Well, they're obviously not here, but... So, unfortunately, it would have been cool to see Noah come up and do some battles in the Super Mini
awesome
class.
To see that. He's really excelled. I remember watching him on 60s and stuff like that just a few years ago. I think 50s actually maybe it was just a few years ago, and his older brother. So it's cool to see him be the next. Cole will spend a lot of time in the States. Like we've got a few guys that have done that over the years. So good to see that, and obviously he's home now, so he's getting the full experience and. But it's good to see that they want to at least try to come back and be part of our biggest race here. So
for sure, and they're actually getting some looks from some big teams down there. So hopefully there's some big things coming for Noah Viney and the family there. So he's really going fast down there. So keep an eye on Noah down south. So it's too bad we won't be seeing them here. Man, I think that's about covers everything. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's about it. It's shout out to the whole crew here, the whole team, everybody that's done a really good job. I mean, there's tons of people here. They're definitely high. They're maybe not breaking records, but they're close from what I've been told. I've heard rumors. Mel, the training could have, brought me back to be ready for this again. It's just something you kind of do lose after a while. But I'll be here, and birthday on Friday, so I might not be 100% for Saturday. We'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll morph the whole weekend into a party. But it's gonna be great, and I'm just happy to be here and be a part of it again. It's good to see.
All right, and thank you very much to Andy White and the gang over there at FXR Moto for helping us out here.
Yeah.
I know Andy's not going to be here. Andy White, talking about, he's not going to be here this week, but Dawn McClintock will be here.
Okay.
I think she gets here tomorrow, so we'll see if we can. There's so much going on with FXR too that we got. Maybe we'll drag Dawn in here. She can talk about the new stuff, and I mean they're just taking over the sport. It seems right down south. I mean
they're everywhere.
Take a look at any starting gate anywhere around the world, for goodness sake. And,
yeah, they're everywhere. It's good to see that a business out of Manitoba that I remember doing a test actually for direct motocross years ago when Kyle Carruthers was still at the helms on FXR gear, and it was not really up to par at the time. I'll admit that, and it's not a dig at them, but this was many years ago. This was actually almost 10 years ago, and to see it now, it's like kind of at the forefront. So seem to be doing a really good job with it, and it's good to see like the Canadian company doing so well, and they're still in their Canadian roots, right? They're still very proudly Canadian.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. Milt Reimer and the gang out there. So thank you very much, and that's going to end day one here of our DMX After Hours show here at Walton TransCan 2021.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to awkwardly go to the computer now and make this stream stop. Thank you very much, and we'll have a great day. Watch Flow Racing app is what you need if you want to watch the stuff live. Otherwise, we'll be keeping updated as we can on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So